Sorry? Oh, yeah.
The one thing that makes me real happy about doing this video today is Rhea's comment that I look like Bernie Sanders. I always liked Bernie. Old and worthless, just like me.
Well, just think about his biggest follower in the States. She must love you too.
Yeah, of course. AOC was his girl. I can't believe Rhea said I look like Bernie Sanders. It must have been my hairstyle. I've been working on it, cutting it really short. The other day I just decided I'm gonna let it grow a little while.
So what gel do you use?
What, gel?
Gel.
Oh, gel. I don't use any gel.
You don't?
No, I don't have any gel.
How do you get it to stand up straight like that?
It just does that. I'm not sure. You know, when you get old, you start looking like all the other old guys. Your ears kind of look bigger and your nose looks bigger. And, you know, like all old guys look alike.
So I look like you?
You will. You're not old as I am. How old are you now?
I'll be 73 in November.
Yeah, you can't catch up. No way. I'm 77. 77, I'll be old or gone.
Makes me think about the fellow that owned Rum Jungle, Let's Spot, all those bars in Barretto. When I was working for him, he was, I think, around 73, 72, 73. Then he already looked like he was 80.
Yeah, I remember him from back then when I first got here. Well, actually, when I first got here, I really never went to the bars. After I kind of split up with my first girlfriend here, I started going out to some of the bars and stuff. And I think there was one of his bars that I kind of liked. That's where I first saw the guy. And he kind of looked the same every time I see him. I think the last time I saw him, he was looking a little older. You know?
Well, I remember you and I used to go for an afternoon drink at Rum Jungle.
Rum Jungle,
because
yeah.
our office was in the back, in the corner, and all we had to do was come out of the office, down a hallway that was about maybe about 5 feet long.
Yeah, and make a left.
And
we were there.
Bang, we were there.
Yeah, that was real convenient.
Yeah, then we could just slip back into the office to finish off.
Yeah, that was a convenient little location.
And the drinks were free.
Yeah, the drinks were free. That's always a good part of a location. Yeah, the bar scene changed a lot. There's not much one here compared to what there was.
A lot of the old bars are closed, and a lot of the old bars look older.
Yeah, I've
more run
noticed.
down.
Yeah, they look run down. I've noticed that the fronts, the paint, and everything. It hasn't been painted since I was here, 10 years ago, or actually, what, 13 years ago now? I don't think they've touched up the paint.
Well,
it looks the same.
Why are you going to invest money into a business that doesn't make money?
Yeah, they're pretty much. I think it's pretty much over for that scene here. You know, the mayor cut down a lot of the, the excitement, I guess, of the girls out on the street waving and all that.
Yeah, that was done. That was done quite a few. That was pre-pandemic. That was
pre-pandemic.
Done. And I think the pandemic itself closed a few of the bars.
Probably a lot. Yeah, the marginal ones definitely. They went away.
I just look at the Dryden Group bars, and there's only a couple left. I remember in its heyday, they're
just down the street from this. All of them, I think, are right down the street from this place here, Hops and Brew.
A little while ago, I just kind of did a count in my imagination. I think he had like something like 7 or 8 bars open.
Yeah, plus hotels.
Plus the hotel and restaurant.
Yeah.
And
the other hotel, he had the resort hotel.
He also had Treasure Island back then too. So he's gotten rid of Treasure Island. He's, I think he's gotten rid of that place down the street that used to be the old Wet Spot. Then there was a deli.
It's something else now.
Then he had a deli there beside it.
I think the sign now says For Rent. That's a popular bar name here.
Yeah.
For Rent.
Lollipop, probably that would have been my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah.
But it was also the tamest one out of them all too.
Yeah. Like I said, places like this are like Hops and Brew here, the type of bars and things that have really come into play in the last Well, definitely since Ray and I went to Vietnam, we were there a long time. But when we came back, these type of bars are in play. You know, this one and they're nice. I mean, they're nice bars and usually bar and restaurant.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at this. This has wine cellar in here. They have more varieties of wine and liquor and things like that. It's really a nice place. We just didn't have that before. You know that.
Yeah.
You just bar drinks and premium bar drinks, and that was about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Towards the end, before I left to go to Vietnam, a couple of shops that opened up that were selling booze.
Yeah.
And those were starting to sell some of the
liquor store
top
type?
shelf. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were starting to sell some top shelf stuff.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention today is we were going to interview Ben today, the manager here at Hops and Brew, and unfortunately Ben took a fall about a week ago and has stitches in the back of his head, and had a little bit of a concussion, but he's just not up to speed. He's a charming guy and a lot of fun to talk to, but today he's kind of not at his peak, let's say. Really kind of dangerous. I mean, he fell really hard. He's got stitches in the back of his head and stuff. It definitely wasn't just a little slip and fall and get back up. Yeah, us old guys, we got to watch that stuff. We watch our footing. The chances of a fall, breaking something, they increase when you get older.
Yeah.
Your bones are more brittle and our brains are more brittle. Everything's more brittle. It's good that we came in today and found that he is in good shape. He said he's gonna be on our show next week.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be great. We'll enjoy having him here. He's a nice guy and always has a lot to share with us.
Yeah, he's been very gracious as a host.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to have a facility like this that we can use every week, we have everything we need. I mean, just absolutely everything we need. It's great. Hops and Brews is the place. It really is. It's nice. And boy, we do appreciate having access to this facility. It's a good place.
Yeah.
So anyway, Ben will be with us next week. That's the name of the game.
All right.
And we'll interview him. I'm not sure what he'd have to say. Never know.
So I'll get a break. I can just sit back and watch.
You can just sit back and watch.
That'll be the time to have my Long Island iced tea.
That would be. Except you may have to say something afterwards. So
I can slur it.
okay, yeah, you can slur that. Well, we always inject a little politics into our talks. Do you have anything from Canada this week? I have a few things from the U.S.
Canada's starting to look further afield for a lot of things. Submarines, now they're talking about, I think they're committed to 17 jets, but they're thinking they're going to, because they're supposed to have, I think, a total of 38 or something like that jets from the States, but they're only committed right now to 17, and I think they are planning to cut that off. And
they go with the Gripen, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a great airplane. It's not combat proven as much as some of the U.S. jets, but I think that it's a real capable one. It sure appears to be. And also for Canada, there's a lot of places where you might want to land that wouldn't be an airport.
That's right. And
Yeah.
the Gripen doesn't need.
No, they're designed to be on the highway or on the tennis court or wherever you want to land
A
it.
few tennis courts.
Golf course. Hey, don't land on 9. 9's a little rough. Land on 7 if you can. Yeah, that's a good thing. The U.S., I haven't been following the politics a whole lot in the U.S. I did watch the video of them blowing up the boatload of smugglers and narcotics. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. There's some question about whether that was a narcotics boat or not.
Oh, of course there's a question of that. What are they going to say? They were taking paracetamol to the U.S. or something? Those weren't fishermen.
The point is that
Fishermen don't run.
after that explosion,
Yeah.
Where are you gonna get the proof?
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, there's gonna be some proof just floating around, but
Yeah, but
that was. I think that was. It was a straight shot. Those guys ran. They were hauling drugs. I always had a thing about, like if the U.S. just attacked somebody on the high seas like that, they have to have some justification. And I think that the way they're doing the justification's a little shaky by declaring them a terrorist operation. I don't know. It's not quite the same as them being in the Mideast over there in Yemen or somewhere, and you attacking them there. You can be pretty sure those guys are a bunch of terrorists.
to be honest with you, I don't have that much of a problem with it. If you are bringing something into my country and it's something that's going to kill people,
It could kill people.
then I consider you a terrorist. I
Yeah.
don't care whether the government declares you that or not. You're a terrorist in my
Yeah.
books.
I was really surprised the other day. I was talking to Rhea about that whole thing and how many people that have died from fentanyl in the U.S. It's a staggering number. It's about 450,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big number. Whoever's responsible for that, and I think we know that it's largely China, that's really an attack on the country. It really is. 450,000 people that die from drugs that originated, the precursors of all those drugs originated in China. And the Mexicans aren't making those. Yeah, they're the middleman.
I was reading on one of the websites. It's a Middle Eastern news agency, Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera, yeah. I actually watched them quite a bit, so
Yeah.
They're interesting.
There was an interesting article about China's involvement in the Ukraine war.
Right.
And used to be, I didn't know this, China used to be a strong supporter of the Ukraine. They had all kinds of different types of agreements with them, economic agreements.
No, I didn't know that.
Military agreements and all that. Just around the beginning of Russia's invasion, they all just kind of dissolved into nothing. China keeps saying that, we're not taking sides on this. In fact, we'd like to be involved in working on a ceasefire agreement or a resolution to this war.
Right.
Yeah, but a resolution for who? They're buddies with Russia.
The whole Sino-Soviet thing is a weird thing. It goes back a long way. They've never really they've been friends. They are opportunist friends. When they need to be friends, they're friends.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the time, they just don't get along.
Yeah.
Period. And Russia's always afraid that China's going to try to go back and take Vladivostok and stuff like that. And China wants it.
Right.
And they want access to the Arctic through Russia. They're never going to be buddies.
And
but they are opportunist buddies. They're.
And the other thing that surprised me is that the engines for all these planes that the drones that the Russians are using,
From China.
they come from China.
Yeah.
And they're shipped. The title on the invoice, the packing slip, they're called washing machine motors.
Yeah, they're probably all from DJI, where everybody buys their drones. A lot of washing machines needed in Ukraine. They got a lot of dirty clothes there.
Yeah, and they're being shipped there by the U.S. by Russia.
Yeah, the dirty clothes come there, and then they need those washing machine engines from China to make sure everything gets clean. Well, I think we need to kind of cut it short today since Ben didn't show up, and rightfully so. And pretty much see what we can put together for next week. We want to get Ben interviewed and have some other things to talk about. I had a real kind of a funny idea. Things that you've done or seen in your life that you remember the most, okay? And I've got made a list of the things that I remember most that I've had happen in my life. Just little incidents. I mean, nothing, it doesn't have to be a story, but just, a brief shot of something that you did that you just will never forget. And I'd like to do that next time. What do you think?
Sure. Okay.
You have anything in your life like that?
Yeah, I can think of a couple of things.
All right, me too. I've got a couple of things too on the list. Today we need to thank Rhea. Rhea, let me shoot a shot of you back here working. So just smiling and drinking a beer at Hops and Brews. our favorite place to have a beer in Barretto. That's about it for today. This is JR, the TexPat OTG, and the TexPat OTG channel, saying thank y'all for watching. Here's Jeff.
The Crazy Canuck. See you later.
Yeah, Jeff will be with us next week, and hopefully so will Ben. That's actually kind of